Welcome, everyone, to our special Oscar preview show. We're very lucky to be joined by Dan Bubbeo, who's deputy editor and deputy entertainment editor at Newsday and author of The Women of Warner Brothers, which chronicled the lives and careers of 15 women who worked at the studio during the golden age of Hollywood. Dan, thanks so much for joining us today. We're super happy to have you here.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Mike and I are like autistic Vulcans who reduce everything to analytical betting propositions, but we are also flesh and blood human beings, believe it or not. And so before we analyze the market as a betting proposition, I happen to actually love movies and TV, and perhaps not as much as you, but I've seen many of these. And before we get into the wagering stuff, I'm curious what your favorite movie of the year was.
Well, based on the ones that are nominated this year, I would probably have to pick One Battle After Another.
I also
And
loved it.
it's because it was such an interesting movie. And what I liked about it also is, despite, that there are some heavy moments in the movie, it also had a lot of humor in it, which I think really made it so much better. I mean, DiCaprio in particular, I think, had some really good moments where he got to show off his comic side.
I completely agree. Now, this is a long shot. It's based on a Thomas Pynchon novel, Vineland.
That is correct, yeah.
Have you read it by any chance?
I have not.
So I'm a wide reader. Pynchon is like the toughest, and I know there are some people who love him, but that is the one Pynchon novel that I made it through. Interestingly, I didn't understand the plot of the novel until I saw the movie, so that was instructive for me.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. Something good came out of it. Now, Mike, you've been quiet. You're not a movie guy, right?
I am not a movie guy. I'm somewhat out of my depth on this topic, but I know you're not, Evan, because you've won an Emmy, so you have some expertise here.
I don't
But
know.
I think
they're all equally valid.
I'll try to supplement a little bit where I can, maybe giving some explanations about the Kalshi market dynamics. But you all are gonna sort of lead the discussion, I think.
I'm sure you'll weigh in with lots of smart things. Now, have you seen any of the Best Picture nominees, Mike?
I have not seen a single one on the list.
Have you seen a movie in 2000?
I don't know. We might want to put that on Kalshi as a betting proposition. Maybe.
Okay. Now, Dan, I'm embarrassed to say I usually have seen all of the Best Picture nominees. I think I've only seen 7 this year. So you maybe haven't. Have you seen them all? Perhaps you have. Perhaps
I have not. There's certain ones I haven't seen, like The Station Agent, which I know has gotten rave reviews.
Raves.
So I can't really speak of that one.
All right, let's go. Well, let's go through the nominees just so everybody knows what's on the table, and you tell me what you thought. If you've seen it, I'll tell you what I've thought, and then we can kind of get into the markets. Okay, I'm embarrassed to say I haven't seen Begonia because
I have seen it.
Is like completely my wheelhouse, and I will. But what did you think?
Well, I'll put it this way: if you like the director's other films, Yorgos, you'll probably like this one. I have to admit, I found it it is a strange movie, which all of his films are very strange. Although I think Poor Things was a better movie than this one. I mean, that said, the plot is a little, it's one that maybe isn't so easy to follow, but the gist of it is that, these guys kidnap this executive who they believe is an alien, and that's Emma Stone. So it's filled with typical Yorgos imagery, and his brand of weirdness.
Well, I love Emma Stone, so it's hard for me to imagine her being in anything that's not somewhat meritorious.
Yeah, and she was very good in this. I think she was better in Poor Things, but I think that was a more layered character than this. I loved Poor Things. Was.
Yeah. All right. F1. Did you see F1?
Okay, so that's another one I have to admit I have not seen.
Okay, I saw it, so we're covered here. I have to say, I loved it. in a million years never would have thought of it as a Best Picture nominee. It doesn't. I mean, I would bet a lot that it doesn't win, and I don't think it deserves to win. But for what it is, first of all, I knew nothing about that universe, and I guess what happened is Apple was picking up Formula One racing, and so the movie is sort of an entree to people who don't know a lot about that universe. But it's a very good story. It's kind of an old guy who comes back for the love of the game, and it's shot beautifully. There are great action sequences. I mean, you know, it's not going to even make my top 10 sports movies. It's not Hoosiers. But it's very good for what it is. I am shocked that it's on this list, but
yeah, I mean, I think I haven't seen it, but it's definitely more of a commercial type of film.
Yeah.
That generally does not win.
It's not going to win, and it's not for a serious art guy with taste like you. It's just for a lowbrow guy like me. I don't think you'll like it either, Mike. All right, Frankenstein.
That one I did see, yes.
What do you think?
And I mean, visually, I mean, I think it's certainly, as all of Del Toro's movies are, it's a visually stunning movie. But it also, I think he did justice to the novel. I think it's a compelling movie. And I really enjoyed it quite a lot.
I'm completely with you. I mean, he's like aesthetically, I always love it. I always kind of love the vibe and appearance of the movies, like 5% more than the story, but it's also a great story. I mean, the hero is very, very dislikable, which is it's hard to get past. Like he's, well, anyway, but it's beautiful. I didn't love it as much as some of the ones that we're about to get to, but it's extraordinarily beautiful. The castle where they shot it is just like the best set I've can imagine.
And the performances were also very good in it.
Extraordinary. Okay, Hamnet.
Okay. That one, actually is one that I did like. I think it's a really, it's probably a more heartfelt film than I think some of the other ones that are on the list. And I've done some acting, so I've done a little bit of, I've done some Shakespeare too. So I kind of, I guess, had a little bit of an affinity toward it, for that. But, I think what makes it really interesting is the performances as well. And in particular, Jessie Buckley is
Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, she's very, very moving in the film, and I think it gives it a lot of that performance really gives the film a lot of heart.
I completely agree. Again, actually Hamlet is the Shakespeare play that I know best. And I guess this is a novel, so it's an adaptation of a novel. So there's no thought that this actually happened, right? Is
Right.
Yeah. Her performance, I'm trying to come up with anything I've seen like it in recent memory. It's unbelievable. I will say the experience of watching the movie, particularly if you happen to have children, is sorry to I'll spoil something that a child dies. It's unbearable. I mean, watching the movie is unbearable.
It is.
So I said to my wife when we left that was a magnificent work of art that I hoped I would never have to watch again. And the play within the play, there's a short performance of Hamlet, is also incredible, right? Well, okay. All right. Did you see and like Marty Supreme?
Okay. Well, I have to admit that's another one I have not seen
You
yet.
didn't see it.
Even,
all right, I saw this one.
believe it or not, and so I apologize for that. But again, I've heard really good things about it and about his performance in it, even though he's playing a not particularly likable character.
It's a very, very good movie. I'm going to be a detractor here. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from
Shark Tank,
it has a significant supporting role in the movie. And I think he detracted from the movie for me. he was very clearly playing Kevin O'Leary.
Right.
I know I'm in the minority in that, but Timothy Chalamet is exceptional. I don't think it's not for me. Like I didn't love it. Like Hamnet is. I'll never
Hmm.
forget seeing Hamnet. So, all right. Well, you've tipped us that you liked One Battle After Another. So
Yes.
let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, I mean, uh, I think it's a movie that like has so many different levels to it. At one point it's an action film. At other points it's a comedy. Um, it's obviously ends on a very down note in terms of what happens with Sean Penn's character, who is, I mean, that was
Incredible.
certainly, yeah, I mean, that's just a performance you really don't forget very easily.
He's incredible.
Um,
Even the
he,
walk is just
yeah,
incredible. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah. Um, but I mean, it's definitely, it's a long movie, but, it does keep your interest the whole time, which is, I think, really saying a lot. Um, And I think all of the performances in it were really extraordinary, from Sean Penn to Leonardo DiCaprio to Tatiana Taylor.
She's incredible.
Um, no one really hits a false note in there.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a magnificent movie. It's a great story. It's beautifully shot. The performances are incredible. It certainly would be a very worthy winner. Now I haven't seen The Secret Agent in its entirety. I think you said you haven't seen it either,
I
right?
haven't seen it either, no.
All right, so we're just gonna have to talk about this as an abstract proposition. Have you seen Sentimental Value and Sinners?
And I have to admit, Sentimental Value is kind of, it's such a small movie. No, I have not seen
Right,
that.
right. Me
I
neither.
apologize again.
Oh, you don't have to. Just don't. I
Uh,
don't think you have to apologize to anybody for not having
We're
seen a
just glad
movie.
to have you here,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What about Sinners?
So yes, and that's a really fascinating film. I mean, visually, it's certainly a very striking film, and I think the one thing that's probably going to work against that one is it's a horror movie.
Mhm.
Granted, it's one that's well made, but I think, I mean, when was the last time a horror movie ever won the Best Picture Oscar?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you might be able to count Silence of the Lambs as a horror movie. I don't know. Even that's a bit of a stretch. But so I think that may work well, against it. But I mean, you can't deny. I mean, the movie has certainly it's certainly a well-made film with some incredible performances. Again, particularly, I mean, Michael B. Jordan has a very difficult role in that film playing, he's essentially giving two performances in it. Um,
It's incredible. I mean, he 16 nominations for the movie, by the way, but
which is a record.
a record. And but boy, you're kind of right. Like it'll be out of the box for a horror movie to win it. And all right, last one on our list. Have you seen Train Dreams?
Yes, I have.
And
Um,
what'd you think?
uh, it's a very, that one again, it's a very, it's kind of a really haunting movie. And you really, Joel Edgerton, I think, he's obviously the one who really holds that movie together because he really, you have to feel for him in that film the way he's, a man who really is so set on what he does for a living and, keeping his family together by doing that. Um, and it's a visually, it's a really
It's extraordinary.
beautifully photographed film. I mean, it's just some of the scenes of the landscapes in that movie are just really spectacular.
All right, Dan, you and I have very, very similar tastes. I also loved Train Dreams. I thought his performance was extraordinary,
Mhm.
and it's just one of the most beautiful, beautifully shot movies I can remember seeing. And he's a logger basically, so he leaves his family for
Mm,
long stretches of time with kind of catastrophic or tragic
mm,
consequences in one instance. But in the backdrop is the deforestation of America, and
mhm.
it's very poignant that this guy is. Well, I don't want to ruin I know you're running out.
He's probably not going to see them.
Yeah. Well,
No, please, no spoilers. What would I do?
It is streaming, so
we watched it on Netflix, and it was
that's where I saw it as well.
It was great. It was great. I mean, well, like Hamnet, it is a very, very tough movie. And I wonder, I haven't even thought about asking you about this, how much that factors into people's positions. All right, enough about artistic merits, enough about aesthetics.
Now we move the money.
Let's talk this into how one thinks this through as a proposition. So, in the Best Picture market, the heavy favorite is One Battle After Another. Dan Kalshi, the gist is that basically you're trading on dollar contracts. So if you currently One Battle After Another is trading at 75 cents, you're getting a 25% return on your 75 cents. It's effectively a third increase on your money.
Well, I think that is the one I would bet on. Yes.
A couple of things to try to bring some rationality to this market. So the Best Picture drama winner at the Golden Globe Awards has gone on since 2000 to win the Oscar for Best Picture 38% of the time. And the Golden Globes divides it by drama and comedy. So the comedy has won it about 15% of the time. And so cumulatively, you're getting close to 60% of the time. Now, what's interesting here, let me just ask you about this for a second, I'll just ask you some contrarian questions, and Mike, you can tell me what you think too. Okay, so Hamnet is trading at 3 cents. So that is suggesting that it's a 33-1 proposition. Okay. And Hamnet did win the Golden Globe Award for Best Drama. And you and I do agree that it is a great movie, a great haunting movie. Now, the trick of this game, and we, Michael and I, think of ourselves as investors, not gamblers. We actually don't really make impulsive decisions. And if you convince me that One Battle After Another has a 75% chance of winning, then I'm not going to bet it, because I'm not going to bet something that the market is valuing at 75 cents that I think has a 75% chance of winning. Is Hamnet maybe a long shot possibility here at 30-1? Is there any chance of it coming through?
Honestly, I don't think so.
That's fine. I mean, well, you're the expert, so we want to hear what you have to say.
No, I think part of it is because I know One Battle After Another has also won a ton of other awards in terms of Best Picture. And also, Paul Thomas Anderson is, he's been around a pretty long time, which I think it's one of those cases where he's probably about due to finally get an Oscar. So I think that also will work in that movie's favor as well. And I also think it probably has, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say I think it's probably reached a larger audience as well. So I think that would be my feeling, is that is the one I see as the favorite to take it.
Okay. Now, I actually think that's a very smart thing to say. I mean, the people, these are voters, right, who are selecting the award. So I think kind of the narrative that somebody has waited their turn, that worked for everybody except for Hillary Clinton. That didn't seem to work for it. But
still waiting.
Well, she didn't get that coveted subpoena. What about Sinners and the fact that it's got 16 nominations? So, I mean, is that, its implied odds are 3-1? Is that sort of a reasonable, not so long shot, but not the favorite given how much love it's been shown in the nominations?
Well, I mean, I would say that one maybe has a little more of a chance, only because it does have so many nominations, and it was a pretty popular film as well. But again, I think horror films generally don't get to be taken as seriously as Oscar contenders as maybe films of other genres. I mean, you could say the same thing about comedies as well, although there aren't any comedies that I can think of on the list that are like flat out comedies. So, I mean, it's a possibility. But I would say I would still think One Battle After Another is the one I think that's probably going to be the one to beat.
I'd like to ask you, Dan. So when we're thinking about Sinners, so right now when we look at the market prices, Sinners is at about a 20% chance to take the nomination for best, or rather the Best Picture award.
Mm.
So if you had to sort of think about this probabilistically, right, given your expert knowledge on the situation, do you think 20% is a fair valuation, or would you say it's a little bit higher or lower to win?
Uh, I think that's probably about fair.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable, and part of it is also when you think about it. I mean, years ago there used to only be like 5 nominees,
Right.
and then within the past 10 years or so, they started making it 9 and 10 nominees, which I assume that has cut down the odds of you know a film's chance of winning, since there are so many more nominees in there now. Um, so I think if it had only been 5 nominees, maybe its value might be a little bit higher. But with 9 movies competing, I think that's a fair assessment then.
Right.
Right. Well, Dan, you've adapted nimbly from the world of merit to the world of of expected value.
Right.
Okay. All right. You don't know the markets, right? So actually, I'll do something fun
I
and answer
really
with
don't
yes.
know.
Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about best director.
Yeah.
How would you handicap that? I won't tell you what the market is. Who do you think is the most likely winner? And if now that you understand how the
Hmm.
prices go, what would you guess the price of the most likely winner is?
Well, I mean, again, I would probably go with Anderson for that one, since one, I think the film is most likely to get Best Picture, and I mean, it doesn't always happen, but I'd say about 75% of the time, the best film and the best director usually are, it's usually for the same film. Um, and again, I think he's one that's kind of been long overdue, given that he's been, in the business for so long. Um, and I know he's been nominated before. I believe it was for Magnolia, maybe the
Magnolia was
last
a
time.
great
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Um, I'm actually a great admirer of his. Um, he's had a number of nominations, interestingly. He's been nominated 14 times. Actually, that's a big
Well,
number.
some of them may have been for screenplays.
Yeah, sure, but I feel like that lends support to your.
Yeah.
You've kind of been waiting a long time. Um, how much would it surprise you if someone other than Anderson won?
Uh, hmm. I'm trying to think I mean, maybe Ryan Coogler might, get in there for Sinners.
All
But
right,
that's a possibility.
you got a knack for this. So the Kowski price, Paul Thomas Anderson is a prohibitive favorite at 92 cents, and Ryan Coogler is the second choice, trading at
Okay.
9 cents, and the only like Chloe Zhao is at 3 cents, and that's kind of it.
And I
Seeds,
think she's probably a little more of a long shot, because since she's already won an Oscar a few years ago, I don't think she's gonna. And not to mention, I mean, she is a woman, and they don't. I mean, there's only been a couple of women, including her, who've already won an Oscar. So the
right?
likelihood of her getting a second one, I think, is pretty slim.
All right, that makes all sense to me. I'm
Question for
gonna
you, Dan.
yeah.
I'm wondering, so the market has the implied odds of One Battle After Another with Paul Thomas Anderson at 92%, right? Do
Okay.
you do you feel that the market is perhaps overshooting with its level of confidence there, or would you about match the market's level of confidence?
I mean, it does seem pretty high, which almost, I mean, a number like that almost makes it sound like he's a shoe-in to win. Um, so I mean, it does seem a little bit high, but I might have thought it might have been just a little bit lower than that. But I still would think that he is the likely one to take that.
Okay,
So
that's
I thought it might
important.
have been closer to 75, since that's kind of where the movie was.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's important for people to hear too, because my initial reaction, having no expertise in the subject at all, is that does seem pretty high for something that hasn't
Yeah.
yet effectively been announced, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate your take there. Yeah.
Well, Mike, after I've made one bet, and I'll let you guess what it is after we're done on the basis of just kind of how you're thinking it through. Let's do Best Actress next.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do the same thing. I won't reveal the price. Who do you think is the most likely winner here?
Well, I think it's probably Jessie Buckley. One, she's been winning a ton of awards. Two, I mean, it's certainly a very worthy performance. I mean, it was so good. I would say the only other one who might be her competition is Rose Byrne, who gave an incredible performance in
She was
If I
great.
Had Legs, I Would Kick You, which kind of surprised me because I've seen her in other things, and this was by far the most intense role I've ever seen her in. So I really, in all honesty, wasn't really expecting that. So, um, but so she, I think, would be the number two pick, in my opinion.
And it would be beautifully poetically just if Conan O'Brien, who was a supporting actor in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and is the host of the Oscars, won. Now, Buckley is an overwhelming favorite in that market. She is at
Yeah.
94 cents. You handicapped it correctly. Rose Byrne is second at 4 cents. Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue is at 2 cents. Actually, I also thought Kate Hudson was great. I actually really liked Song Sung Blue. But um, Jessie Buckley gave to me, and I don't know. Well, first, I'll say one statistical thing and one impressionistic thing.
Okay.
Statistically, the Best Actor, Best Actress winner at the Golden Globes has gone on to win the Oscar 85% of the time in the category.
Okay.
And then impressionistically, that was one of the best acting performances I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I thought Rose Byrne was fantastic. I didn't think to myself, oh my God, like that's, the actor of a generation in the role of a lifetime. Um, so,
Well, I
yes,
also will say, in terms of the Rose Byrne movie, it was another one that was, I think, kind of difficult to watch as
very
well.
tough, very tough.
I mean, she basically, this is a woman who's just like spiraling out of control throughout the whole movie. And by the end of it, I mean, it's just like it's kind of exhausting.
Well, a lot of these movies were exhausting. Hamnet is exhausting.
Yeah.
Frankenstein is exhausting.
Yeah.
Train Dreams is exhausting.
Yeah.
At least one battle after another. It was really, really long, so it was physically exhausting, but at least you could occasionally laugh. There are some very funny moments in it. All right. So last category we'll talk about, I think, is much more wide open, and that there's
Yes.
some interesting things to say. So I won't quiz you on this one. Timothée Chalamet is a tepid favorite here at 41 cents. Michael B. Jordan is at 39 cents. Leonardo DiCaprio is at 6 cents. And Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, who won the award for the Golden Globe for acting performance in a drama, is at 4 cents. What's your thoughts on? Let's start with Chalamet. Yeah, go ahead.
This is a tough one because I really think it's a very close race between Chalamet and
Michael B. Jordan.
It could go either way. But I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I think Sinners has so many nominations going for it. It's got to win one of the major awards, and I think if it's going to win one, this is the one it's going to win.
All right, we really are in sync. That's where I would go here too. It doesn't feel Timothée Chalamet. He won the Golden Globe for acting performance in a comedy, which doesn't have a high conversion rate to the Oscar.
Yeah.
And did you see the Dylan movie?
Yes. And I think that would be really the only thing that might work in his favor is the fact that he didn't win last year for that.
Hmm.
So maybe he might get some votes this year for people who thought he should have won last year. But I still would lean a little more toward Jordan on this one.
I feel the same way you do. I feel like, so I was interested a little bit in Wagner Moore from The Secret Agent, which neither of us have seen, just because he did win the Golden Globe Award and he's at basically 25-1. So that's
Mm.
always interesting to me. But I have the same thought that you do. I have a hard time imagining people going down a ballot and marking against something, 16 nominations,
Mm.
voting against it every time. And I feel like while Woman seems to have been negatively placed. Maybe actor of color will get like maybe some spirit for that. I don't know. But I'm kind of with you. I think this is there's a slight value in this proposition, though not. Mike, you want to guess which bet I actually made?
On what, Best Actor?
I made one bet in one of
Oh,
the 4
overall?
markets that we've discussed. Yeah.
I'm going to go with
Ooh.
Best Actress.
I don't know. You seem pretty keen on Michael B. Jordan maybe having a little advantage there.
Dan's like
So,
totally Dan is exactly, he just thinks exactly the same way I do. I just can't see Jessie Buckley not winning it. I mean, she's
yeah, everything I've
impressionistically the
heard.
best.
Right.
Everybody says she's going to win. I just can't see Rose Byrne winning for this movie that didn't get any other acclaim. So I actually thought like a 6% return there was actually pretty good. And then one thing that Mike and I present a lot of statistical evidence about this, but that actually, so like people, and this is true in horse racing, it's true in all types of gambling, they tend to overbet long shots. So like I've got, my dad is a big, we're both horse racing fans, and actually I'm really good horse race handicapper, like the skill kind of translates. But when I say that, what I'll do is I'll be like, well, this horse is 10-1, but I really think it should be 6-1. So there's value there. And a lot of times you'll look at a horse and it'll be like 50-1. And I'm like, that horse should be 500-1. They could run this race 10,000 times and that horse will never win. But on the other hand, like, it's, it's hard, very, very hard for me to imagine a universe in which Jessie Buckley doesn't come back the winner of this thing. And so by that logic, like, I don't know, it'd be one thing if she were at 99 cents and I had to tie up a bunch of money to make a penny, but we're both interested in those propositions. All right, I got to ask you one other thing before we let you go. You're a SpongeBob fan, huh?
Oh, I am. Yes.
I've seen SpongeBob.
You've only seen it.
Despite not having seen any of these movies, we could definitely talk about SpongeBob.
No, I've
I
actually gotten to interview Tom Kenny, who's the voice of SpongeBob.
Oh, that's wow.
I think it's probably been now about 5 times. And it's fun. And he remembered me, and actually it was funny. I think one of the times when I spoke to him, he said, almost every interviewer that, that speaks to me, you could tell that they're really more anxious to speak to Tom Cruise. You're the only one who actually seems really excited about speaking to me.
Oh, that's funny. What was the occasion for the interviews?
One of them had to do with it was the show's 20th anniversary. Another one was he had released a CD of original songs from one of the SpongeBob episodes. Another time was for the SpongeBob musical that was on Broadway. And there was another time when it had to do with he and some of the other SpongeBob actors had done some takeoffs on YouTube of some classic movies. They did a takeoff on The Godfather, and they did a takeoff on Singing in the Rain, and I can't remember what the third movie was, but and it was very funny.
I love SpongeBob. I mean, I'm a huge TV cartoon guy. I mean, The Simpsons is like, I kind of have encyclopedic knowledge of The Simpsons. I actually think I literally have a Simpsons encyclopedia behind me. I can do South Park, Bob's Burgers, Solar Opposites. I really like, actually, we're named for a cartoon that's on now called Universal Basic Guys, which I actually think is terrific. And I've seen so much SpongeBob So my kids would watch it, and I loved it. I was like, and I would, and because this is the type of parent I was like, you understand this is all gay allegory, right? And like,
Clearly gay allegory.
like thinly veiled. I'm like, not that thinly veiled.
They're doing something under the rock. Yeah.
But it's a great show, so I admire
Well,
your
that
taste.
was how I got into it, because my son, at the time it premiered, which was 1999, he was about 9 or 10. So I started watching it with him, and then of course I ended up laughing at it more than he did.
Oh, it's totally pitched to adults. I would say that all the time. I was like, the kids can't get this. It's like so subtle and sarcastic. But actually, I think he's a brilliant voice actor. I mean,
he is. He's great.
Yeah.
And he's done a number of other voices on the show too.
Yeah, all of those guys are so impressive. I mean, on The Simpsons, they all do multiple voices. All right, Dan, thank you so much. Michael, thank you for your dominating the conversations.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for.
Well, now he's going to go check out all these movies.
Yeah, are you going to go see one?
Oh,
For God's
yeah.
sake?
Yeah, I want to see Sinners. I hear a lot of hype about it. Actually, my coworker was telling me about it today, so I'm excited. Yep. I will see precisely one movie this year.
All right. And, so thanks for letting us zoom into the stream with this special preview. We'll return to our regular podcast with a depressing discussion of the war in Iraq and related markets. All right. Thanks again, Dan. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Universal Basic Calci Guys was created and is hosted by Michael Horahan and Evan Mandery. Our producer is Amir Rasulov. Our theme song is Passing Trains by Nathan Eklund. You can follow us on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram at UBK Guys, or email us at admin@ubkguys.com. The content on Universal Basic Calci Guys is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute trading, financial, or investment advice. Nothing discussed on this show should be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell contracts on any prediction market. Trading on prediction markets involves real financial risk, and you could lose money. Always do your own research and consider your own financial situation before trading. The hosts may and often do hold positions in markets discussed on the show. Views expressed by guests are their own and do not reflect the positions of the show or its hosts. If you or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling, free and confidential help is available 24/7 through the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncpgambling.org.